There are 5 things that you need to be doing in your wedding and event business today to set you up for success in the year 2021. Welcome back, my friends. Happy New Year. I am Andrea Eppolito. I am a wedding planner, event designer, lifestyle specialist, and I have dedicated my life to celebrating life luxury and above all else, love. If you are new here, welcome. If you are a lover of all things romance, beauty, fashion, weddings, lifestyle, decor, you are in the right place. So please go ahead, hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications, and join us as we move through this crazy industry. If you are coming back and you're already a subscriber, thank you so much. I'm so glad that you've chosen to spend your day with me, spend your life with me, invite me into your business. And I am really excited about what we have coming in this new year. Now, over the past 5 or 6 months, been a lot of discussion about whether or not the wedding industry can survive, if creative businesses are going to be able to move forward. And sadly, we've already seen a number of businesses close, and that just breaks my heart. But the reality is that our ability to create joy in our own lives, in order to be able to do the things that we want to do as creatives, to just exist so that we can work through the process of design, creation, and art for our clients, we need to have very, very solid business practices. And because there's no governing body of the events world, a lot of times we're not really sure how do we move forward. Now, I would never wish a pandemic on anyone. I would never wish closure or heartbreak on any of our businesses. But the truth is, in the last 9 months, we've kind of been painted into a corner and we have to fight our way out. And that to me is exciting because it doesn't mean we're surviving just for survival sake. That sounds god-awful. But what it does mean is that we can go back to the beginning and we can reimagine our businesses and our industry from a beautiful place so that we can create something and build things that really serve us as creative professionals and serve our clients. So today I am going to be sharing with you the 5 things that you must do right now, this month, this year, to set you and your business up for success. So let's get into it. Tip number 1, breaking the box. It is no longer enough to say, I think outside the box. The harsh reality is the box has been broken. It's been irrevocably shattered. And so rather than try to put Humpty Dumpty back together again, rather than try to fit a round peg into a square hole, I want you to have the courage to scrap everything and start over. You're not starting from scratch. You're not starting from zero. You're starting from experience. And so what does this mean in terms of your business? I want you to sit down and I want you to make a list of all the creative work and all the services that you offered pre-COVID. That's number 1. So if it was full service wedding planning, partial wedding planning, day of, interior design, birthday parties, bar mitzvahs, make a list of everything that it was that you did. And when you're done, make a list of the things that you've done just to survive in these last 6 to 9 months. Have you added services? Have you taken away services? Have you discounted services? What are the things that you used from pre-COVID, from the old way, that helped carry you through these last 9 months? And then look at whether or not you've enjoyed it. Look at whether or not you've been good at it. I personally have never offered day of wedding planning or partial wedding planning. It's not something that I personally want to do. And so even in these last 9 months, I haven't done it. But what I have found myself doing is designing other things. I'm designing ballrooms, I'm designing offices, I'm designing birthday parties, I'm designing at-home holiday parties. What is it that you're doing today that you love? And I want you to take that and make that the foundation for growth in the future. Make a list now and decide if I'm going to rebuild my business from scratch, if I'm going to start over completely, what do I want to add today that I didn't have originally? How do I build on the foundation that I once had so that I can be in a much stronger place? I don't think that you're going to be wildly creative, and I don't think you're going to be successful doing busy work that you don't really love. I think the only way to really, really be successful in this industry is to create art that excites you. So I want you to go back, break all the old rules, and really truly ask yourself, what is it that my clients need from me? How do I make their lives better? And what is it about my business that excites me? Once you answer those questions, rebuild everything from there. Tip number 2 is a little bit more direct and a little bit more concrete. I want you to sit down and I want you to meet with a lawyer and a financial expert. Now more than ever, you absolutely have to understand every single clause in your contract. Your contract is the guiding light, the full set of principles for how you run your business and how you manage your clients. And so the days of just kind of sending a contract across and not being able to discuss it in layman's terms are gone. You have to understand what it is when you say force majeure. You have to completely and very clearly be able to articulate the difference between an act of God and an act of man. If you have a COVID clause, what does it say? Can you explain it to me like I'm a child? Because if you can't, then you shouldn't be sending that contract out. Your contract needs to be written in a way that you fully understand it, that you can manage it, and that you can defend it. You also need to be able to have a conversation with your clients about it so that they understand what it is that they're signing. And then once you have that done, once you have your contract in order, take it and go to a financial analyst and say, does this contract set me up for success financially? I have talked before, and I've always been a fan of having FU money. The kind of money that says, I know I'm taken care of in the event of an emergency. I know that I don't have to take this piece of work because I don't love it. I know that I want to invest my money in this marketing effort, or I want to take a class, or I want to do something with my kids. If you're not set up well financially, you can't run a business, not long term. And so take your contract, take your payment terms, and then go sit down with an accountant and ask, have I set myself up to be paid in a way that makes sense? Can I make a living and still manage my life? And if you don't have savings, if they've been spent over the last 9 months, if there's a concern about how it is that you're going to go forward, sit down with both your lawyer and your financial analyst so that you can make a plan to set yourself up, because if your business goes under, you're of absolutely no use to your clients. Tip number 3, I want you to evaluate your systems and your processes. You absolutely have to have processes in place that guide how you run your business. Now, a solid process, a solid system really just benefits everybody. It's the catch-all to make sure that you as a business don't miss anything. It's also a catch-all to make sure that your clients don't miss a step. And so in my business, I have a step-by-step process. This is what I do with my couples. This is how I walk a couple from onboarding to beginning their design. This is how I intake information. This is how I communicate information back to you. Once you have that, once you have a timeline and a guiding process for your clients, you also need to have one for your partners and your vendors. What is it that your vendors expect from you? What can they rely on? If something gets missed, how do you catch it? How do you fix mistakes? If you can set up a process for communicating with your vendors and your partners, with your clients, and for bringing all the team together in one solid communication, you will be so much better for it. So look at the steps you take in your business, write them all down, and take yourself through a checklist and a sheet. One for yourself for a day-to-day basis, one for your clients, and then one for your partners. Tip number 4 is to develop a marketing plan. How is it that you are going to market? Are you just relying on ads and listing and reviews on websites? Because as important as those are, and as great as those ads and listings are for showing that you're a member of the community, for helping you get seen, and for getting more eyeballs on you, these are no longer the gatekeepers of society. The true gatekeeper is social media. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, TikTok. This is the place that your clients are looking for you. This is where they're searching. It's also where they're getting social proof. It's where they're seeing how you interact with your partners, how you interact with your couples. It's where they see people post about you in stories. And so if you don't have a plan, a grassroots effort, then you absolutely need to sit down and do one of those today. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to work on a social media calendar. Take note of all the things happening in the next 30, 60, 90 days. Do you have National Ice Cream Month coming up? Do you have a post about that? Is there a dog show in your area? Can you post an image of a dog at a wedding? Is there something going on with a charity or in society, something that you can talk about to show that you are a real person? Because as much as people buy from businesses, people will always buy from people. Once you get your social media set up, I want you to go back and remember that referrals are key. And so are you talking to other partners? Have you reached out to venues and vendors? Have you touched base with old clients? They're an excellent resource for referrals, so they can post something about you or they could say something about you. The old way of marketing where you just buy an ad is dead. And so if you haven't brushed up on the new way to use things like TikTok, if you haven't figured out how to monetize a pin, if you haven't gotten live and gone on YouTube or stories or anything like that on social, it's time to remember that social media isn't just fun. It is an integral and probably the most important part of your marketing plan. So I want you to sit down and write out a 30, 60, 90-day plan. And if you need help with that, let me know. We've got some of those digital that you can download. And number 5, last but not least, I want to talk to you about goal setting. Now, I am not one for resolutions. I actually don't like anything that's like New Year's resolution, gimmicky. It just kind of feels gross to me. But what I am a huge fan of is goal setting. So on a personal basis, 3.5 years ago, my family and I sold our big house. We moved into a rental because we were trying to move into a different school district. And it was this huge life change. And so what we did as a family is we each sat down individually and we wrote goals. Then we combined them into a family goal and we made an inspiration board. And the things that were on that board were things like travel the world, get passports, buy a new house, get all A's. And we took this board and we hung it in the closet right when you came in to the house. It's where we kept our jackets, it's where we kept the keys. It's some place that we went into every single day and we always saw it. So now what did this do? A goal without writing it down is just a wish. It's a maybe someday sort of way. But when you actually take the time to put it into words, when you put it on paper, and then when you create a visual to go with it, you're reminded every day. You're inspired every day by the thing that it is that you want to accomplish. And so every day you are so much more likely to take steps to get you to those goals. And so what I want you to do before the end of this month, before the end of January, is I want you to create a list of short-term and long-term goals for your businesses and for your clients. It could be anything from I want 80% of my weddings to be published on a blog to I want to make X amount of dollars in the next 5 years. Whatever it is, I want you to make a list for short-term and long-term, and then I want you to search the internet, Pinterest, Instagram, and I want you to screen grab and clip images that you can use to make a collage so that you have a visual. Make it your screensaver. Put it on your phone, print it and hang it up, get it on your desk. But every single day, I want you to visually see the goals that you have created for yourself so that you can work towards getting to them in the next year, year and a half. Create small, actionable, measurable steps to get you closer to being the business that you want to be. Now, these may in part sound a little silly. Maybe the idea of breaking the business and starting from scratch or goal setting or creating a visual, maybe that sounds a little weird to you. But I can tell you this, I will be celebrating 10 years of business this coming year. And every single thing that I wanted to do in a grand scale, I'm getting to do now. But I know that it can all be taken away in a minute. I know that this all can end. And so every day when I wake up, I look at my business and I say, am I doing the thing that's right for me? Am I doing the thing that's right for my clients? Am I behaving in a way that supports the very best of the industry? Number one. Number two, am I doing it legally? Am I making financially sound decisions? Number three, am I marketing myself? Am I putting myself out there in the world in a way that is both vulnerable and authentic? Have I set goals? And am I working towards those goals in a meaningful way so that every day I can be just a little bit better than I was the day before? These are the things that we should be doing every year, not just when a pandemic reminds us of them. And so my wish for you is that you sit down, that you examine your business, that you pay really close and careful attention to the things that you're doing today and how they're going to impact your clients tomorrow. Because I plan to be here for a lot longer than 10 years celebrating life, luxury, and above all else, love. I want to make sure that you're here with me. So if this has been helpful, please leave a comment down below if there are other topics you would like me to talk about. If you want to learn about anything specific, please let me know. We are going to be doing an office tour. I wish you could see behind the scenes. My husband has bought all of these lights. He set it up. I feel like I'm in a movie studio right now. And I'm excited. I'm excited about the next year because I think that the best of us are going to come together, and I think we're going to do some really extraordinary things. So I hope you're here with me, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks.